Jordan was wearing a wrap on his arm near the end of practice. Was that anything significant at all, or just a?
No, it's nothing. I think something, I don't know. Kids nowadays, yeah. Tattoo. Is that what it is? Yeah. Tattoo.
That makes sense. There we go.
Coach, what do you tell the younger players as we go into this rivalry this weekend? I mean, just about the atmosphere, about kind of the competition.
I mean, I think most of our guys know about it. You know, there's very few guys who don't. You know, Jordan's, even though it's his first time on the field in the rivalry, I mean, he's certainly experienced it and been around it and seen it. He's played with the reserve team years ago in Portland, and you know, he's been there. So you know, I think they know what it's all about. You know, you feel the atmosphere right away when you step into the stadium, and then you got to just, you know, step up and deliver.
Hercules said there was a little bit of more intense feeling amongst the training this week. Do you feel that? Do you see that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a strange week anyway because we're coming off a midweek game, you know. But you know, you can see the guys are focused on what's coming ahead. I mean, they know what's happening on Sunday at noon, and you know, they're very focused right now.
Does this game itself, I guess, besides the rivalry, take any more importance that both teams are right now below the playoff line, and you're both trying to struggle to get into the playoff work?
Yeah, I mean, you know, points are important to us. Points are important to them. You know, it's a 6-point game as well. We're trying to climb over some people, so you know, it's an important game.
Is there any kind of confidence boost that you're seeing in the locker room coming off of a 5-0 win?
Anytime you win, it's always good. We got different guys scoring goals, which is good for everybody's confidence. You know, guys are getting assists. You know, guys are scoring their first goals in their career. So from that standpoint, that's very helpful.
How would you define this rivalry? What makes it unique to you in all of your experience as a coach?
You know, it's the rivalry obviously exists within the team, but there's a rivalry within the cities. And I think that city rivalry carries into the sport rivalry of it. And, you know, when you look at the other sports, you know, there's no direct Seattle-Portland comparisons. You know, I don't know, maybe there's one in minor league baseball or something like that, but there's nothing at the NFL level or the NBA level or the NHL level. So we are the one sporting rivalry between the two cities that everybody can see and is exposed to, and it's because of the basis of the rivalry of the cities.
They're on a run of 8 unbeaten, obviously with 5 ties. What is Caleb doing, and what are they doing here in this run that's making them productive?
Well, they've always been a team that have tied a lot of games. You know, when you look at their history over the years, you know, they tie a lot of games. And, I mean, that's, you know, it's a good thing because it shows that they're always in games, and they're able sometimes to pull games out of the fire and get a tie out of a game that maybe looks lost. And it's also something that maybe, you know, are they able to finish the opponent. But certainly, you know, right now they're ahead of us on points, and that's all we look at. And it's always about trying to win season series, and this is our first game with them, so we want to get off to a good start.
The younger players clearly had a very good game against Dallas, but when you look at a rivalry game, do you tend to give maybe more of the veteran players importance regarding to the lineup you're going to put up there, or is that just not really important?
What's important is to get the players out on the field who are in form, and the players who are playing well, and the players that are ready, and to make sure that we have the best combination on the field, guys who can complement each other.
What are you taking in stride with Wednesday's match in LA, and then following that with KC lineup-wise?
You know, first things first, you know, so Sunday's game's first, and after we get through with that, then we'll decide, you know, what's going to happen for LA, and then we'll decide what happens for Kansas City. It's not very good for Grant Clark because he wants to submit names to airlines and put together hotel lists and all that stuff, and but we got to take it one game at a time.
When you run back through the numbers, I think that Clint, since he joined you guys, has missed about a third of his MLS games, and obviously a lot of that is with national team duty. But is there a relevant criticism there, or is that something that people just miss and something that comes with the territory?
Well, you know, I think the majority of the games that he's missed with our team has been because of national team duty, and certainly you can't ask him to miss a World Cup or to miss a Copa, you know, or to miss a Gold Cup, you know. But the club's done a good job of, right now, in international fixture dates, making sure that we're not scheduled for games. So I think we're trying to address that part of it and deal with that.
But this will also be the third straight year that he's missed at least a game with sort of a suspension for an on-field incident. Are those just outliers, or is that a pattern at all for you guys?
I think those are outliers.
How's Nelson Valdez? Not just physically, but also he's a prideful guy, and hasn't really been able to produce as much. Emotionally, is he all right? Have you seen him?
Nobody wants to produce more than Nelson. Nobody wants to do more for this team and to reward the community and our fans in Seattle than Nelson. So every time he steps on the field, he gives you everything that he has. And so I know, I'd be very happy to see him get on the scoreboard, in one of the upcoming games for sure.
How much have you seen this rivalry change from your start, and how do you feel it's doing for the game, MLS in general?
I don't know if it's really changed much. I don't think it's gotten any less intense. I mean, it was. I remember when they were still not an MLS team, and we went down there for an Open Cup match, and it was pretty intense then. So I think it's maintained its intensity throughout this time.
Roger just added a lot to that first game.
Yeah, Roger sort of. He stoked the fire a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
The commissioner had talked about this rivalry and ours with Vancouver and Portland, Vancouver, compared to some of the European rivalries, and that's what they're hoping to build. Are you kind of seeing that filter down into the MLS, seeing a European style rivalry?
Yeah, I mean, I think our rivalry is more along those lines. I mean, obviously there's a rivalry with Vancouver, but they seem nicer, for whatever reasons. They're Canadians, maybe, I don't know. But certainly, for me, the Seattle-Portland rivalry, obviously the major rivalries people talk about are a lot of times in-city rivalries, whether it's a River Boca, whether it's an Atletico Real, whether it's a Manchester United, Man City, the inner-city rivalries. This isn't an inner-city rivalry, but I think this is very comparable. It's very comparable to a Barcelona, Real Madrid. It's comparable to a Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich. It's very comparable to a Liverpool, Man United. It's very comparable to those type of rivalries.